Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to show you a simple stretching routine and also give you some of my tips to help you become more flexible. I did a quick stretching routine in one of my previous vlogs and you guys were commenting saying that you really enjoy those videos and you need help becoming more flexible and also need some tips and tricks for beginners. So in this video, I wanted to show you a bunch of different exercises that can help you get a full body stretch, but also give you different variations from beginner and not flexible at all till, you know, I guess as flexible as I am, because that's the most I can show you. And one thing, sorry if my voice is a little bit raspy, I'm just getting over a cold, so yeah, don't mind that. So before you guys get started with these stretches, I would recommend that you warm up a little bit, and by warm up, I don't mean that you have to go running or do something intense, but just make sure that you move your body a little bit because you don't want your muscles to be super cold when you start doing these stretches, but we are going to start out with some easier stretches so that we can work our way into the ones that are more intense. So the stretches in the beginning will help you to warm up also. Okay, so the first stretch will really warm up our body. So what you're gonna do is just get into like this tabletop position and you're gonna do a cat-cow pose, which if any of you have done yoga, then you've definitely done this before. And what this stretch will really do is just kind of warm up your back and warm up your shoulders, and you can also, you know, move whatever feels good to you. So like my hips are really tight today, so kind of moving back and forth like this helps. This first stretch is really just to get your body moving and warmed up. Sorry. Next up, we're going to do a simple butterfly stretch. So with this, the different variations are, if you're not so flexible, then you can have your feet further away and you'll want to just work your legs down as far as they can go. You might be right here to start, that's totally okay. Just go somewhere that is uncomfortable, but you're not feeling any sharp pain. And that's one tip that I would like to share with you guys about stretching in general, is that you should feel discomfort when you're stretching. That's the only way you're going to get more flexible. It's just like any other, you know, workout routine or any change that you're trying to make to your body, there's going to be discomfort. So the dull, uncomfortable pain is good, and you guys should be hitting that in every stretch. And if you're not, then you're probably not going to see your flexibility improve much. So with the butterfly stretch, what I like to do, because I am a bit more flexible and this helps me to get deep into the stretch, is kind of push my hands behind and push my hips forward, and then that's what helps me to get my knees to the ground, and I can pretty much get my heels in really, really close. Like I said, if you're less flexible, you can just simply put your hands on your ankles and push your knees down with your elbows. It's not good to bounce into your stretch, that's a good way to hurt yourself, but it is good to slowly move in and out of your stretches, and that will help you to become more flexible. Okay, so moving into our next stretch, this is one of my favorites, and this might be difficult for you if you are not too flexible, but there are different variations. Like the goal of what you want to do is to put your ankle on top of your opposite knee, and then you want to be able to get your knee down to the other side. So when I'm doing this right here, I can really feel the stretch in my hip, and this is so good if you are sitting at a desk a lot, or even if you're any kind of athlete. I don't know about you guys, but my hips always get really, really tight. If you can't go this far, and you see how my legs are pretty much in a line right here, if you can't go this far, go as far as you can. Maybe you can only get to here, or maybe you're in front. But as long as you can feel it working in your hips, then that's where you want to be. So like I said, this is ideal if you can get it to here. And then you also want to make sure that you do both sides of your body evenly. So as you can see, this hip is a bit more flexible. My left side in general is a bit more flexible than my right side. Another thing you want to make sure that you're doing here is keeping your feet flat. So like I said, you can move up and down in it. If you're just a beginner, then start here. You know, if you feel that in your hip and you can't go any further, start here. Start with your foot a little bit in front. But like I said, you do want to be pushing your limits just a bit, and you do want to feel that discomfort. The next stretch that I actually learned from Adrienne Mishler, and you guys might know her from her yoga videos on YouTube, and I don't know, she's just an amazing yoga instructor, and I took one of her classes a few weeks ago. She did this during the class, and it was just amazing. So if you guys have ever done this stretch where you kind of go like this and you twist, think of that's how you're going to get started to get into it. And ideally, you want to be like this. If you see, my knees are kind of in one line with each other and my feet are pointing outward like this. Okay, so here's where the awesome part comes in. Once you're in this position, you want to grab your feet and dig your thumbs into the pressure point that is in the arch of your foot. Everybody's might be in a little bit of a different area, but once you find that point, if you just dig your thumbs in and hold, it releases so much tension in your feet and in your entire leg. I'm not gonna hold it here for time's sake purposes. And then make sure, once again, that you do the same thing on the other side. And as you can see, I'm, again, not as flexible on this side. And you just hold it like that. Or maybe you just kind of put your leg like this and you can't get it all the way down. Whatever is your level, okay? So next up, we are going to get into a straddle. And hey Daisy, you wanna stretch too? Hey baby. Okay. Now, Daisy's gonna help us with our straddle. So right here in this stretch, what you're going to do is you're gonna move with it. So you're gonna go from one side, hi honey, to the other side. Hi, I know, my goodness. Baby, I'm trying to film a video. Oh, okay, that's okay. You can stretch with a cat too. So you're gonna move from side to side. So you'll go down here, yep, and down to the other side. And you're just kind of gonna wanna go back and forth. So the goal with this stretch is to get your nose to your knee on both sides. And as you can see, my straddle is pretty wide, but if you are less flexible, then your straddle can be, you know, in closer. Baby, what? And once again, go down to each side. No, baby. Okay, Daisy. She likes to use my foot as a scratching pose. All right, are you done, honey? So then after you've gone down to each side, then you're gonna go to the center and up. And like I said earlier, you don't wanna bounce into this because that's a good way to get injured, but just slowly go down and up, and down and up. And then the goal here is to get your stomach flat on the ground. But if you're not as flexible, just go as far as you can. Up and down, maybe you can only go this far. Maybe your legs are in like this, up and down. But make sure that you feel that, and you'll feel that in your inner thighs and then also in your hamstrings. You okay? Next up is a pike stretch. So with this one, you're kind of gonna do the same thing that you were doing in the straddle. So you're gonna go up and back. So this is probably for beginners. If you can't touch your toes yet, you'll just go down as far as you can and go back up, go down as far as you can and go back up. If you are more flexible, then you can grab the bottoms of your feet and you can bend your legs, straighten your legs, pull your heels off the ground, bend your legs, straighten your legs, pull your heels off the ground. And you want to do this and kind of hold it for as long as you feel like you're really getting into that stretch. You'll feel it in your back, you'll feel it in your hamstrings. Then after you do that, then point your toes and do the same thing. And as you can see, the goal here, I can get my nose down to my knees, and I can also bend my arms, pulling for my heels. So the goal is obviously to touch as far as you can to your feet. Next is my favorite stretch that I've shown in many videos, which is the runner's lunge. And I'm just gonna show you on one leg for time's sake. But You want to make sure that you do it evenly on both sides. It's basically just getting into your runner's lunge like this. To stretch this one with movement, you can go up and down. And then grab that back leg. And that'll really get deep into your quad. Another thing that I will say is that if you are trying to get a deep stretch into your hamstring, if you stretch your quad first, if you stretch the opposite muscle first, it will help you to get a deeper stretch in the muscle that you are aiming for. So, by stretching this quad on this leg, when I do my runner's lunge on the other side, it will be easier. Then after you've done that, you'll pull it here, and then to add movement to this, foot arched, foot pointed. And if you're not as flexible, if you're more of a beginner, you might be up here. Your leg might be in more. You know, the goal is a split. But this took me a long time to get. So by doing these, this stretch, plus the runner's lunge, plus the quad stretch, you'll be able to get your splits in time. Last few stretches are going to be for our backs and our shoulders. The first one is Camel Pose. So this one you're going to go up onto your knees like this with your toes flexed under, and then you're going to grab your heels and push your chest to the ceiling. Okay? The more that you can push your hips forward and your chest high, the deeper you'll get. If you're not that flexible, then you can just go as far as you can. Maybe you can only go to here right now. Maybe you can just go to here. But you should feel that in your back, you should feel it in your hip flexors, and you should also feel a big opener through your chest. After you do that, then you're going to sit back on your heels and still grab your heels again. And this is kind of the opposite to that stretch. And this one kind of looks funny, but once you get into it, then you'll feel that it's like a really good stretch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your forehead on the ground, and you're gonna keep holding onto your heels. So then you're going to push up, and you'll feel this. I can't really talk while I'm in that stretch because of my cold, but you can feel this in the top of your back and also like in your shoulders and also through your spine. Maybe you're not that flexible yet and you can only get to here. Maybe you can get all the way up to here. Two stretches that we can do for our feet. The first is you just sit like this and kind of rock back and forth. The goal, or the furthest you can get, is to go all the way up onto your toes. You can really feel that stretch through the front of your feet and through your ankles. If you don't have strong ankles or strong feet and you're kind of working on that, then just go back and forth, just do light rocks. The opposite of that is to tuck your toes under and just sit. And this one, there's not that much movement, but if you just sit here, you will feel this stretch through your entire foot. One last shoulder stretch that is really simple. You'll lay on your stomach and cross your arms over top of one another. So my right arm will go under, left arm on top, and just kind of lay there. You'll feel this through both of your shoulders, depending on how flexible you are. Maybe if you're a beginner, kind of be up like this. You want to get down as low as you can, and then just make sure that you switch arms. Alright guys, well that was my simple full body stretching routine and also some of my secrets that I use for stretching and how I've become more flexible over the last year. I will say it one more time, you really need to practice stretching. You need to be okay with feeling uncomfortable, and the only way that you're going to get more flexible is by making stretching a priority. And I will say that being more flexible has really helped in my overall athletic performance. And I know that a lot of you guys are pretty young who watch my videos, but I think as we get older, it's even more important to continue working on our flexibility, because you do get a bit stiffer as you get older if you're not consistently working on it, and that's what leads to more injuries and just not, you know, feeling your best and not performing your best in any kind of athletic or fitness endeavor that you are working on. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I do upload new videos every week. So I will see you guys next time, and hopefully this cold will be gone. Bye.